Why Jameis Winston could return to the New Orleans Saints. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be a barrel of laughs. We are with Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jacob Hester talking about Jameis Winston. This should be good. Let's go ahead and let them start the conversation, and I shall react like only I can do.
A better Super Bowl week than the Jameis Winston. So hear me out, guys. I said last segment, cut Carr, cut Hill. Jameis is the answer. And I know he's not good, but that's kind of the point. That's why he's the perfect quarterback for this moment of Saints football, okay? He'll give you a ton of fun moments, but not enough to win a ton of games because he'll balance it out with a ton of crazy mistakes. But the vibes will be at an all-time high, and you'll have as much fun as possible while still losing and then get the high draft pick.
I mean, what do we even say? You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe I'm watching football the wrong way, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'm the problem. You know? Because I want the Saints to win. I want the Saints to be good. I want the Saints to be relevant. I want us to be rebuilding in the right way. I want us to be moving forward. And I guess the appropriate way is just to want some memes. Just to want some memes and some goofs and some gaffes. And it sounds like what T-Bob wants is just to watch Saturday Night Live. Just skip the football part. Petition for Jameis to get on Saturday Night Live. And he can do sketches and he can do funny stuff. Or is Mad TV still around? He can get on Mad TV and do that. But as far as the New Orleans Saints, and the real reason I wanted to bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, is not about Jameis Winston, because obviously Jameis is a meme. Obviously he is a joke, or not a joke, but he is a funny kind of jovial situation. There is no seriousness. As the youth say, this is an unserious thing to say. T-Bob is being unserious right now. Because in no world would anyone actually think Jameis is a viable option at this point in his career. Or certainly not for what the Saints are wanting to do right now. Now, if you want to, watch some TikTok reels or some vines of Jameis interviewing a fish or whatever he was doing, during Super Bowl week, that's fine. But it certainly is not what the Saints should be doing. Now, the bigger part of this that I wanted to talk about is something I'm seeing a lot with comments as far as the quarterback position. So it seems like the argument for Spencer Rattler, one of the arguments is, well, let's see. Let's see for a year. Let's see for 2 years. And if it doesn't work out, we can go with blank. If it doesn't work out here, you can do this. But let's just see. All right? You got to remember, there is no let's seeing, because the Spencer Rattler or whoever, in this case it would be Jameis, that is not happening in a bubble. It's not happening isolated of everything else happening in the NFL. So if you wait and see for a year or two, if you LOL with Jameis for a year, you're wasting a year of Alvin Kamara. You're burning a year of whoever else, Eric McCoy and all these other players. You're burning years off of rookie contracts, which is where you should be building and you should be working towards something. You're burning all of that. You're another year into a lot of players' primes, and it's a huge cascading domino effect across the entire team. For example, let's say you LOL meme with Jameis for a year. Well, Alvin's on a 2-year deal. So now you've wasted 1 year of that deal. You've burned up, $10 million for nothing. And now you're entering the last year of his deal. Okay, so then you have to move stuff around there. All because you wanted to play some games. And LOL with Jameis. Or if you wanted to let's see with blank player. Or whatever. So it's important to remember this huge domino effect that every single player has on the other player. So, not to mention, you have Kellen Moore, who is trying to win. or trying to create something or trying to build something, Kellen Moore could give a shit less about the vibes being high with Jameis or sacrificing a year or 2 years of his coaching career to let's see with Kendra Miller or let's see with Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler or whatever player you want to throw out there. I've said this once and I'll say it again. All of this, everything you knew about the Saints leading up to Kellen Moore being hired, all of the players, all of the draft picks, all of the projects, all of the developmental players, the Bub Means and the Mason Tiptons and the, whoever, the Jameis Winstons, the Andy Daltons, all the players from yesteryears past. It's like the end of Toy Story 3. Put them in the cupboard. You ain't playing with them anymore. New toys are coming out. This is a brand spanking new time in New Orleans. And the last thing I want to do, or the last thing anyone should want to do, is rehash or sacrifice the future for retreads, developmental players, or average players, or in Jameis Winston's case, full-time memes.
Who says no? Why?
This
what do you want, Kirk Cousins?
No.
This is the only time I've been with you on this. Because my question was always, if you bring in Jameis,
this is so bad.
Are you trying to lose? If you're trying to lose,
exactly.
Jameis Winston is a good quarterback to have. If you're trying to find your next franchise quarterback, Jameis Winston is the wrong guy to have.
Also, this also bleeds into this as well. Tanking is not a thing. Like tanking, the idea of trying to lose, the idea of losing on purpose, the idea of any of that stuff does not actually happen. Because again, if you do that, you're burning up other contracts, you're pushing off rookie contracts, you're going deeper into players' primes. Like, it doesn't work like that. And once that whistle blows, once the game starts, the players aren't trying to lose. The players are not going to lay down for 4 quarters every single week and get their ass kicked. This isn't the NBA, all right, where a star player can just say, you know what, I'm not going to play tonight. I'm not going to play on back-to-backs, or I'm going to rest, or whatever. It's not how it works. You're not going to tell Talise Fuaga, hey, man, I know we're in the second year of your career, but we're going to sign Jameis because we're trying to lose. So if you could, just kind of get dog-walked for 4 quarters. I know it's physically not going to feel great, and it's going to look terrible for you, and it's going to look terrible for you moving forward into your next contract, but, the vibes.
I agree. I
always saw it as like a way to bridge the gap between.
Yeah, we've been here, done that.
No.
Oh, this is a good question too. It's a good point brought up. The idea of a bridge quarterback. It's helpful if your bridge quarterback is viable and good, or even average. Fun fact, without looking it up, when is the last time Jameis Winston played more than 10 games? Or even 10 games. 2019. Fun fact, without looking it up, how old is Jameis Winston? 31. Fun fact, without looking it up, when's the last time Jameis Winston threw for more than 2,500 yards? 2019. Since he left Tampa Bay, he has not played more than 10 games in the season. He has not thrown for over 2,500 yards. Done virtually nothing besides get hurt. And he's 31. A bridge quarterback is someone like Russell Wilson. Someone who is viable. Someone who can... Like, bridge does not mean... those, like, wooden bridges? You see them all over Alabama when you're driving. Like, all of a sudden, you'll have to go over a wooden bridge or, like, a really old bridge. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to hold my car. Happens a lot. But that's not what you're shooting for. Like, a bridge quarterback is not just blank quarterback. That doesn't matter how he's playing or his viability or whatever. If you're getting a bridge quarterback, it's someone like Russell, who he's kind of in a weird spot of his career where he's in between teams. You need a cheap 1-year rental situation. Both parties understand exactly what's going on. He's good enough to keep you stable and keep you afloat until you find your franchise quarterback. That's what a bridge quarterback is. A bridge quarterback is not In this case, Jameis Winston.
No, we did it. Dennis Allen ruined it.
That's what Jameis should be doing. That was electric. That's what he needs to do right now.
He could do that right now as the Saints quarterback.
No, you drafted a guy in Spencer Rattler that has first-round traits. Allow Kellen Moore to try to get all of those out of him. See what you have in Spencer Rattler. You have been there, done that with Jameis.
He can learn from Jameis.
Learn what?
Learn how to be a quarterback, a man, an entertainer.
No. We don't. No. Look, I get it. We all love Jameis. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't want Spencer Rattler to become Jameis Winston if he's on the New Orleans Saints. Not if you want him to be a good quarterback. Love Jameis Winston, not a great NFL
How about
quarterback.
this? Jameis teaches him what not to do.
Exactly. It's like the Berenstein Bears. Papa Bear used to always be screwing things up and then be like, see, that's what you don't do.
Yeah.
Also, look, Jameis's time here was ruined by Dennis Allen.
It was.
I understand this is tongue-in-cheek, and I understand they're not actually advocating for Jameis. I understand all that. I understand this is we're having a bit of fun here, but this is 15D chess. Okay, I'm taking the meme. I'm taking the joke. I'm taking the unserious. I'm using that as a vehicle for the serious. I'm using that as a vehicle for here's how you have to approach the next couple of years. Here's how you have to approach one contract or one player domino affecting. I mean, that's the kind of high level journalism that we offer on this channel.
Bottom line, full stop. And Pete Carmichael, freaking four-eyed nerd. I'm just kidding, Pete. You gave a lot of good years to the city. I apologize. I'm just kind of popping
again.
off.
Like I love Jameis, but I love Jameis doing that.
Yes.
Like that is hilarious. That is energetic. That is something that everybody can get behind. Nobody needs to get behind him being the Saints starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And I also say this too. I think Jameis, now this is going to be controversial yet brave. I think Jameis is a sideline reporter, kind of like this comedy act. Overrated. I'll say it. Overrated. I'll say it. All right? But I've never been one to love like slapstick humor, like Adam Sandler movies. I'm not still watching, whatever, Happy Gilmore. I can respect it for what it was, but, it's not my cup of tea. Not a slapstick guy. Someone slipping on a banana peel and then throwing a whipped cream pie in the air that lands on top of them like that, it's not really for me. Whoopee cushion, the flower with the water coming out of the lapel, not really for me. So if it's your bag, that's fine. And some people like it. Honestly, I thought some parts of Super Bowl week with Jameis were good. I think he gets a little over his skis. And I think sometimes he leans way too... He knows what he's supposed to be doing. And I think sometimes he leans into it a little too much. And I don't want to say it becomes cringe, but some of it is... I can't remember who he was interviewing that was talking about their toenail, like doing their toes or something like that during Super Bowl week. And Jameis kind of went off on this weird like toe fetish thing, which is like, okay, he's really leaning into the wild and crazy and all that stuff. But that whole part was like, all right, let's just reel it back a little bit here.
Does not need to happen.
Manning. I want Arch Manning. If that's going to happen, we got to have Jameis.
All right, well, Kellen Moore is not going to try to tank in his first.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Jacob. The Arch Manning thing. Hey, guys, how about we wait and see if Arch Manning is good? I'm hearing a lot of people say tank for Arch. Let's get Arch back in New Orleans. Guys, we don't even know if he's viable at Texas, and we're talking about tanking for him. Okay, I understand he's from here, but good Lord. There's got to be a better qualifier for starting quarterback in the New Orleans Saints. There has to be a better qualifier than going to Bishop Newman or playing at Rummel. I mean, damn. Like, it can't be, wait a minute, he was from New Orleans? Tank for him. Let's roll. It's like, guys, let's see if he's good. Let's see if he's even a first-round talent. Let's see if he's even a third-round talent before we start talking tank.
Year, because NFL coaches sometimes only get 1 year.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be with Jameis Winston. Again, like, why would we not want to see more of that from Jameis? Like, every week he goes to the game of the week and he tours the city for 3 days. I'll sign up for that.
Chat does bring up Did y'all see James and Kreischer talking about how catching a kickoff feels like staring at the sky while 11 ostriches are running towards you and you have a banana on your nose?
It makes sense.
That was one of the funniest things I've heard. And you could tell Kreischer was like, oh my God, that's like actually funny. He started dying.
I mean, if there's one person that should not be the governor of funny, it's Bert Kreischer. All right. I mean, you know. I mean, that's all you need to know.
Laughing. Okay, look, man, that's fine.
He did call him Kershaw to start the interview.
But to be fair,
and he loved that too.
I do not know his last name.
Kreischer.
I bounce back and forth thinking Kirshner, Kreischer, like Kreischer. There's no N.
No, Kreischer.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And
I mean, now that we're at the end of the video, guys, I've been addicted to opening cards. So we've talked about Pokemon cards coming back and all that stuff. So MLB just released their Topps, has the new Series 1 2025 set. Got me a little mega box or whatever, was cracking it. You know, just take the edge off a little bit. Check out this little hit. Check out this little Bobby Witt. Now, it's in a old Pokemon case to protect it. Look at this Bobby Witt hitter. Look at that. Huh? The hobby is real, guys. The hobby is real. I'll tell you that. The hobby is real. Get you some cards. All right. No Jameis Winston, no bridge, no jokes, no memes. I don't want Dave Chappelle playing quarterback. I don't want Bert Kreischer playing left guard. Let's try and win some football games. Let's get real. Let's get serious. Okay. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Get on down in the comments below. I will see you in the next video.